All right, let's do it. We got Kevin and Foley from the Are You Garbage podcast.
Yeah, what's up?
Garbaggio's in the building. Do you
Gentlemen?
guys ever declare yourselves? Are you garbage?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, okay.
Look at me. Have you met us?
A fucking Hawaiian shirt right now. Is he garbage? Yeah, no. We're garbage. That's the thing. So, like, on the show, like, we'll call someone up, like, dude, you're fucking trash. They're like, well, you're trash. We're like, yeah, that's why it's on the show. We're not sitting on our throne going, like,
You
oh,
would
you're
be total
trash.
assholes if you guys were just like, white glove, ivory tower pricks.
Oh, no, dude, we're like pure white trash from Philly. Like, yeah.
I ate an old slice of pizza that was sitting in the pizza box on my coffee table for breakfast this morning.
Bro,
Yeah.
I ate
And then
a
snooze for
Domino
another.
slice this morning.
Dude,
I think
Domino
it was from, like
slice.
3 or 4 days ago.
Dude, Domino's slice in the morning.
At least it was
They
on the
Oh,
fucking table
they
for you guys.
age like fucking Melback. Those things are fucking. Are you kidding me, buddy?
I'll
come
straight
on.
up go right into the garbage if it's still in the Domino's box. I'll throw a couple lava cakes away, and then I'm like, wow, it's in the box still.
Let me tell you something. Everybody shits on lava cakes.
What, they do?
I don't know what Michelin star chef Domino's has working for him.
Those are incredible.
Those lava
Those
cakes
are-
are killer.
You could swap that in a steakhouse, and I don't
know
think
nobody
anybody would know. And have you done the?
You pop one thing of ice cream on it?
I'm sold.
Put
Little
like
bit of
those
fucking
little
powdered
mint leaves
sugar.
or whatever. Yeah, the presentation's
leaf,
off.
yeah.
I actually really appreciate the presentation when it soaks through the cardboard.
Yeah.
It's not even the paper;
like-
it goes through the fucking
It's like,
wood.
hey, we put the whole cardboard in olive oil for this one.
Yeah.
Like, you're really going to like
Have you
this.
done the brownie blondie combo?
Yeah, I don't care for those
Oh,
ones.
what?
Nah, I think those are underrated.
I've never done.
Yeah, it's like a brownie, square brownie, and the circle in the middle is a blondie cookie. And they are
I've hit the whole
delicious.
Domino's menu.
Are those new?
I've hit. No, I've
Newish?
been around. For
Even the
a
pasta
long?
bowls. You go for the pasta
I've
bowls.
done the
those
pasta
are real
bowl. I did those in
trash.
college a lot because it was like $6. I was like, I can sustain this for a week.
Yeah.
Whereas like we had no money. I was like,
yeah.
I'll eat a whole fucking bowl of bread. I'll be fine for a little while here.
Puking that up at the end of the night, though. You're like, I didn't know there was oregano in this.
I love the Domino's, the sand they throw on their fucking. It's just like they are generous with
It's
the
always
Domino
everywhere.
sand.
You like wake up, it's in your hair and shit. You're like, what the fuck was I doing last
Look,
night?
I'm exfoliating with it.
It's like stripper glitter all over you. Fucking the
that'll
next
be on you
morning.
for a week.
I think Domino's has had a renaissance. I think a bit.
Oh, have
But,
they?
like, well, I think
renaissance.
I think people respect Domino's now.
No,
I think,
no.
no.
way.
I don't.
See?
I don't.
Respect it. We
I-
know.
anytime
we
I
all
talk-
Maybe I'm
accept
just
it for what it
projecting
is.
this into the world.
Yeah.
I don't
But,
care
like-
how fast they fold the boxes. I'm not fucking get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
that guy.
Not only do they fold the box shots, they get to you. I
they
get Domino's
get
all the
quick.
time. I get.
They are good.
You order Domino's in New York
Oh,
City?
people always say that in New York City. Pizza here is fine, but
No,
there's like
the pizza. Domino's pizza's trash.
it's
Cheesy
good,
bread
but
is
it's
a
trash.
delicacy.
Oh, cheesy bread.
Cheesy
something
bread is
else.
it's
another thing
It's
you can put
good
in a
pizza.
steakhouse.
It's like it's. I've always said that you get it when you want Domino's, not when you want pizza.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'll
true.
give you that.
It's like
Yeah,
its
yeah,
own
you have
thing.
like a
Yeah.
craving for like Domino's.
Yes.
And I think everyone understands that now.
Yeah,
maybe I'm not
sure.
saying it's the greatest pizza ever, but everyone understands like you get a hankering for Domino's.
Oh, dude, when they
You
dropped
get-
that 555 deal on us, and like in the early 2000s or
I
whatever
get
that was,
sober regular.
dude, that was the best way to spend $30. I would just be like, fucking give me.
You'd be losing money if you don't get it. It's an investment.
Yeah, there's a specific craving. There are specific places that, like, when I get a White Castle craving, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that
Never
is
had that one.
never had White Castle.
Oh no, I've had White Castle. I've never had
The
never had
craving,
But
yeah.
that's the same thing. You would never be like, oh, I'm in the mood for a burger. Let's
Let me
go
go
to
to White
fucking White
Castle.
Castle. You know what I
Correct,
mean? Yeah,
correct.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go to Wendy's for that, like a fucking gentleman.
Come on, high class, high
Go talk
society.
to her.
So you
Little
guys
mayo.
are on what? Gas Network,
On Gas Digital, yeah.
and that's
yeah, yeah.
Legion of Skanks
Yep.
and all that shit.
There's
right?
a whole bunch of them, yeah. It's,
Yeah.
I think there's like 25 shows on the network.
And are you
or
guys
something.
like? Was that? Do you know them? Or are you guys like? Do you all work together? Or it's just like you're on a network and like business, whatever.
No, kind of how we got on the network was I did a spot on Real Ass Podcast, which is Luis Gomez's podcast, and I remember I'd mentioned when we were doing the plugs, I was like, yeah, me and Kevin Ryan just started a new podcast called Are You Garbage?
It's a great idea.
And then he was like, great idea.
It really
I
is.
saw him writing it down.
Yeah.
And then he had me on a couple times, and then we had Kevin on, and then we had him on our show during the quarantine. Or the break, as my mother calls it.
We got people here who call it the break.
Talk about
too.
fucking
It's
checked
crazy.
out.
We had a guy. He said to me, "How was your break?" And I was like, "What did we? Was it Labor Day recently?
what'd you
what
do?
break,
What was that,
man? I've been
fucking
working
Daytona?
harder than ever.
Uncle Frog.
3 fucking month break. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, we had him on, and then it just kind of developed from there, and it just seemed to be a really good fit. And we started our first show there was July 7th.
Well, yeah. So it's.
it's
I
been
mean,
great.
I took note of it when you did Kate and fights, and then I mean, it just seems like it took off like right away. I've seen some names on there. I see people like it just starts to bubble up on my timeline and whatnot. It's such a fine line. I've always found with more so segments. In this case, it's a whole theme for a podcast. But you come up with like segments and bits and shit. And it's such a fine line between being like, this is great and it's recurring and people are gonna love it, and like this is corny and you're forcing it.
Sure.
And this one of Are You Garbage? For those who don't know, it's just like pepper you with questions to find out if you're a trash person. And I think it's because everybody. Unless you're a real fucking
you want to
prick.
secretly know. Like you're always like, wait.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
how?
Feidelberg's trash, by the way.
68%. I'll never forget it.
I hit him with the 68. He came in. He's like, I want to just let you know I'm not garbage. There's no fucking way.
Well, he's
We're
very
like
interesting.
6 minutes in. He's like, I've camped out for every Fast and Furious movie.
No, what put him over the top was the fucking he pisses in the bed and then blames his.
Yo, I
blames his
pissed
girl.
myself.
You gotta say, I mean,
just now.
it dried up.
I'm
Well,
pretty
no,
dried up.
he came up.
That's why. Remember when I first saw you guys? I was in a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And the second time you saw me, I had a sweatshirt tied around my waist. It's because I pissed myself.
So he's a big time pisses himself a lot. Like
Wait, was this after? Would you dribble?
Dude, that was like 7 minutes ago.
So he, yes.
Yeah, it was just that.
So we
got a leaky valve.
we did a segment not too long ago where it was like, I think everybody's maybe put it back in a little early and there's some dribble, and it's kind of like
sure.
every
Especially
guy's
as
done
you
it.
get older. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Feidelberg does it like once a day.
It's very
And he
regular.
came over to me just as we were walking to you guys, and he like kind of like walks up alongside close to me. He's like, yo, like, I'm not going to announce this to anybody else. I got to tell you something though. And I leaned in. I was like, oh, this is going to be some shit. Like, I know he just came up for therapy. And I was like, oh, fuck.
I killed a homeless
going
guy.
on? And he's like, I full blow pissed myself. It was like a solid, like, there was a puddle. There was a puddle.
There were a good amount of piss spots for sure.
So yeah, trash.
It was like I looked at myself in the bathroom mirror and alone just went, Jesus Christ.
What are you doing, John? Pull it together.
I never pee before I go on stage because I know it's happened to me before.
Really? You'd rather
I'll
go
be
out there with a
standing
full
up there
load?
fucking telling fat guy jokes, and then he's like some hot chick in the front row is like looking at my junk, and I have little fucking dribbles on there.
Dude, also, one time, he's also his weight's an issue, but he was getting on. We were doing a show.
What are we talking
about? We were doing a show, and the
Define
stage
issue.
The stage was pretty high.
Ah,
right?
that was the fucking
It was like
worst.
maybe like an 18-inch stage, no steps. So like you had to put like a pretty big.
Hold on,
step
this was
there.
pre stretch flex jeans, by the way.
Okay.
This is like old denim.
Did you have to do like a roll on? How'd you get on there?
It was
split his pants.
Oh no.
And I thought, okay, it was the second time that it happened. All right, so I had thought that it just ripped in the underneath. You know, how if you rip your jeans underneath, you can get away with
Yeah.
that for a few weeks,
Right.
until it really starts going.
If you're wondering if we're garbage,
Garbaggio.
You're gonna ride that out for a little while.
you don't have a taint in your jeans.
But it ripped all the way down in the front.
Oh no.
And like I go up there, and I did my first joke is about my jeans, my skinny jeans. And like everyone like kind of like laughed in a weird way, and then all of a sudden, like as the more I talked about it, people were like, "Ah, getting into it" and stuff like that. So like I thought I had a good set, and I get off, and I walk up to one of my friends in the back, and he puts his hand on my shoulders, and I'm
sorry,
thinking he's
man.
gonna
Yeah.
be, I'm thinking he's gonna be like, "Yo, man, that was a great set.
You're
really
amazing.
coming
You're the best
along."
comedian in the whole wide world. Like
And
one
he
of
just
those.
looks at me in the eye, and he goes, "Yo, man, your balls are hanging."
15 minutes just hanging brain in front of a club full of people. No idea.
The booker was there, fucking the owner.
Dude, I did that once at a wedding where I was the best man, and I did it before the wedding, and it was the guy getting married. His sister was in a wheelchair, and
damn it.
I thought like I was like, oh, I'll be the
course.
nice guy, like I'll help pick her up. We were gonna get her into the house. Or
Oh,
something
so
like
it's
that.
her fault, that bitch.
And I was
You were
like,
looking to make a move after the ceremony.
and I was like bent down. And I felt it rip right away, and it was like dark blue suits. So then I had to. One of the other groomsmen he's like, yo, like, you can do what you want with this information. He's like, I'm wearing dark blue underwear.
Oh,
And
you
I was
switched?
Like, I was like, we gotta switch, bro.
Holy shit.
What a fucking friend, though, dude.
Yeah, that's a
That guy's
fucking
the
soldier.
fucking MVP. He's gonna put your piss stained underwear on.
What size were they?
They're all
But
wet.
this guy every now and then wears a size small boxer briefs.
Dude,
You like to keep them tight, huh?
I mean,
He-
they're literally
that's an
in my
advice strip.
asshole when I'm wearing
He did
those.
not know that
Hey, don't
underwear
knock
comes
it.
in sizes. So he bought a size small, and then he just keeps them in the rotation because he's a piece
They're
of
not
shit.
in the rotation. They're just like when I'm out, which
Emergency
doesn't
boxers.
happen very often anymore. I have like a lot of underwear. It's weird actually how much
You're
underwear.
pissing in them all.
Just dropping off like a 50-pound bag of laundry every week.
Just boxers.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I run out, or if they just happen to be on top, if we're being honest, and I'll
smalls.
just pop on the smalls. And I don't think they're a small anymore, technically. Yes, the label says an S.
Sure.
But they've been...
They've grown.
put it
They
work.
stretch out.
They've been stretched.
His shirt's a medium. Just so you know, right? You do a lot of work on this thing. But that, listen, the peeing and stuff like that does make you garbage. But what elevates it with you is the fucking cover up.
Yeah.
All right.
The maniacal, like, oh, this is a bottle of
Do you know
water.
what? Do you know what he does?
Oh yeah.
He
When he puts
fucking
it in
with
the
the
bed,
water
he's like,
bottle.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Which I will say is kind of genius.
And then he blames it on the girl.
Right.
Yeah. That's
So
like
he's got
mom-
patsies.
You're
He's got
disgusting.
patsies.
You pissed yourself, bitch. That girl's got therapy. She's
Yeah,
got
that's what I said.
better
She goes
knowledge.
home and is like, "What the fuck did I do last night?" Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, he's fucking sitting in his tighty whities.
I tried to do that once when I shit in my pants in the middle of the night. Did not work.
It's actually your poop
Yeah.
that landed in my pants.
I woke up, baby, what'd you do?
The dog shit my pants again.
We don't have a dog.
Goddamn neighbors.
This place has squirrels. I'm getting out of here. This is fucking ridiculous.
You got a real problem. Man, that's good.
We used to have squirrels in our old office. Like, this is probably like 6-7 years ago. We were a media company that was growing and writing blogs on the internet. And we would regularly lose our internet because so many squirrels lived in our office that they would eat the wires. And it would just be like, we can't blog today. The internet's out because squirrels ate it.
That's a good question, too. We asked that. Did you ever have any infestation in your house growing up?
Dude,
How many
I
times?
lived in a condemned building once. It was my buddy's.
Forrest Gump? What the fuck's going on?
What are you, a fucking
telling
CIA
you, honestly,
assassin?
like that story about like what he just told right there is a story. I've been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
I've
No,
never,
never
heard.
heard.
It.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I just had to keep talking to him to draw these things out. Like 7 years in, he told us about when he locked his fucking housekeeper in the basement one time, and I was like, "How is that not the first story you tell me on the podcast?"
I don't know. I
Is she
didn't like
fucking
her.
up? What's
Yeah,
going on?
and the worst part I did about that was we had like a laundry chute, and I would throw Cheez-Its down it, and I would say, "Eduardo, you're worthless." I would
Jesus.
As like an 8-year-old boy, I mean, he's disgusting.
No, but the
Kid's
the
wild.
condemned building. I've told you this. The condemned
Yeah,
building.
yeah.
And it was my buddy's uncle. We didn't make any money at the time, and I needed to live in Boston, and I couldn't afford to live in Boston. And my buddy's uncle bought a building to knock down, and then the insurance was cheaper if there were tenants.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So he charged me like $300 a month to live in this condemned building. And one
He
night,
still charged you the balls on the fucking guy.
Doing him a
doing
That's
something
got to
to
be
cut
like
him a
$1,
break,
you
yeah.
know? Like, okay, there is an exchange of money, but
he should
like
be paying you.
300.
like I couldn't shower there. Like the shower didn't work, so I had to like join a gym to shower at the gym. And there was one time I had a party, which is insane to have people over to a condemned building.
Young
you know?
young people in their 20s.
Was it a black
Party
tie
everywhere.
affair?
How are the hors d'oeuvres? All the cheeses.
it was tomato soup with a slice of Kraft singles on top. That
The
was it.
tartare was pretty good, I'll tell you that.
And some girl just goes like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys had a cat." And we didn't. It was just the biggest rat you'll ever see running around the kitchen. And then we just walled off that side of the. It was a house, so like, we walled off that side of the house.
like
and
it was an old mine shaft
we
or
just-
something.
And
like
my
that's closed.
bedroom was back there, and I just never went to my bedroom ever again.
Belongs to them.
I just slept. We moved the refrigerator because the kitchen was back there too. We moved the refrigerator into the living room, and we just left it up.
Wait,
Like,
and you had the balls to say
Folks,
you wearing garbage.
yeah.
Very few people
Yeah.
have come on the podcast and said, I am not
Well,
garbage.
You came on like a Southern lawyer.
because like where he came from is very bougie
Sure,
and like
yeah.
and this like Kennedy-esque family, and then he was the black sheep for.
That's the thing. It
Poor.
doesn't matter. Money doesn't save
Money
you.
all
all
the
the
No,
time.
it's a mentality. It's a state of mind.
I
you
grew
know?
up with a little. My family had a little bit of cash, but they were poor, and then my dad made some money. So it's like
That also matters too, whether it's passed down or you
Yeah,
earned
no
it. or
amount
whatever.
of money can like we still had like an unfinished shed in the backyard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
were just like real fucking trash.
Yeah,
Car on the front lawn.
junk drawer, which is like I have a drawer that's filled with
Yeah,
batteries.
yeah.
And
It's
shit
like
for
Ricky
nothing,
Bobby
you
shit.
know?
You spend your money on like a standalone fucking hot tub or a wave runner or a snowmobile. Or
You know, we
something,
were
know
just
what I mean?
talking about the
Wave
other day.
Runner and Snowmobile are two big ones.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh,
dude,
wave
if someone
runner.
can get like $3,200 together to get it like a jet ski, like
you're
you're
living.
making payments on it. Like, what are we doing?
We were just talking about the Globe bar. You know what we're talking about from like the Sharper Image or Sky Mall?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a globe and you open it up and it
yeah,
keets all your whiskeys.
yeah.
Everyone thinks that's
That's
classy.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
know, I got my own apartment now.
Trash, dude.
I got my own
they
spot.
think it's class.
Yeah, and it
Like
is.
everybody that gets that thinks they're gonna be like standing around with like a it's like
Swirling
the,
it,
the
you
sifter,
know.
like oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
When I was a kid,
no.
we had Sports Illustrated. We got the football phone. We thought we were
Oh.
fucking
living.
We thought we were Rockefeller. I was just making calls like, no, hello, send up more pizza.
I had a girl talk phone. That's kind of the same thing. Yeah.
What's the girl talk?
The girl
phone?
talk
Girl,
was like,
you could like change your voice and stuff. So we would just
Oh,
make
I had
prank
the
calls.
Talk Boy, the thing from Home Alone. I thought that was
dude,
cool.
That thing was
Yeah.
you felt like a fucking spy.
But
with
it
that
never
thing.
worked the same way.
I was like, I'm gonna
My
break into
kids were
hotels
home
and
early.
shit. Yeah. That I had the
was the
phone that
commercial.
was like clear and you could see the like
That
inside
was-
that
Oh,
lit up.
that was the hot chick phone in high school.
That was.
Every
I don't know
hot
why
chick
I
had
had
that.
it, but the girls did.
You know, it
yeah.
was a real indication of trash. Did you have a pager as a teenager?
For a split second.
Yeah, there was like an hour where like
Hold on a second.
technology
Yes.
worked for us.
What were you selling, and do you still have any on you?
Yeah, I think my brother, aged up and got the cell phone
Yeah,
and
and
he
then you
passed
got
that
the
down to
pager.
me, and then I was like, I'm just gonna get a fucking cell phone
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
This is
Family
stupid.
heirloom.
Yeah.
I got Ricky's
Yeah, that's one
Motorola.
thing. If you mention a beeper or a pager to like the younger generation, they're like, they don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
that is.
I never had the pager. I weirdly had a cell phone before anybody. My grandparents were the worst gift givers in the history of the world. Like $25, pair of socks, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I graduated 6th grade and they got me a cell phone.
This kid's got to call the maid and call her a piece of shit.
I was like, I had this phone like 3 years before anyone else. I couldn't even call anyone. I just had a phone in my
Yeah.
pocket. There was no one to call.
It's one of those old big ones from the 90s.
Oh, those are great.
Like a stockbroker.
What did you do? You had to have like a bag, I guess, right? If you're carrying that around, it's obviously not gonna
I
fit in
guess.
your fucking pocket.
I remember my mom had my dad had one like mounted in the car. I
Yeah,
remember
those
that
were
proper
all right.
car phone.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that. And then my mom had like the first like big kind of Zach Morris one. It just sat in the car. Like you
Yeah.
couldn't put that in a purse.
No way, right?
Yeah, that
It
was
like
for
a
like
backpack.
calling it an airstrike or something. Like that. That's when you were in like
Red
serious
team, go,
trouble.
Red team, go, light them up.
Move the money to the offshore account and come get me. That's what that was.
I think the reason why this all works though is unless you are a real fucking bougie prick, everyone's got a little bit of garbage.
Well,
you
that's
know?
the
Even they
thing.
do. Even they
Yeah,
do.
right.
You
It might
just have
be
to
a
find
different
it, yeah.
type, but like, yeah, I can't think of anybody I know that is just like full blown high society and wouldn't be like, yeah, sometimes I eat like cheese whiz from the can or something.
Yeah.
Everybody's got something.
I think we had one or two that weren't trash. I can't even remember.
Really?
You had 2 non-trashers?
Two non-trash.
We said Jared Freed,
Jared
J-Train
Freed.
wasn't trash.
Really?
He's
that
very
makes sense
classy.
because he's friends with Francis.
He's
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
like
you guys-
real like
you guys should
strict
have
set of
Francis
rules
on.
and stuff. I think we're going to.
Francis is going to be a tough one to crack.
That's what everybody
right? I
says.
mean, I can't.
Well, he's interesting.
It's like,
'cause
well,
he's
I
a
blog
little-
about dead girls. That was kind of trashy, but other than that, like,
He's comparable to you in the sense he grew up regular.
yeah,
And then I think he said when he was in high school,
that got big
his,
money.
his dad got rich.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so like, he had a tweet the other day texting with his golf teacher.
Yeah,
And it was like, if you got a golf teacher at what's Francis, 32?
Yeah.
Like you got a golf teacher at 32 years old.
He owns it pretty well too, though. So,
No,
he-
he's
he-
very
he
honest
doesn't
to
try
it,
to
you know?
hide
You
it.
get
Yeah.
a golf teacher at the fucking chip and putt. What are you talking about?
He's
Golf-
the club pro at the fucking mini golf. It's just him hanging out by the 19th hole.
Check out my short game. Mini golf professional. We'll crack them. See, we love that, man. We love that.
It's like,
Yeah,
it takes us a
Fran-
little bit. We'll go like, hey, have you ever done this or did you have that? And then they go, no, and we're like, oh, and then we finally. It's like we're just trash.
You
It's in us,
guys
and we
are
know
like
it.
kind of like it's almost like a good cop bad cop thing where it's like you just start the interrogation. You guys like
Yeah.
lobbing each other's alley oops, you know?
Somebody said it best online. They were like, Foley makes you feel good and like part of the trash
About
team.
being garbage,
And
yeah.
I make you feel bad about it. You know what I mean? But I also do that to myself. Like I'm shameful for the shit I do.
Yeah.
When I'm cleaning my
well,
car
you
with a
kinda-
squeegee at the gas station, I really
Oh.
feel like a piece of shit.
I love that.
I can't. That's one of the things in me that I've done it, and it's like
I take a shower with
if
it.
my parents found out I was doing that, they would like disown me.
I'm
See,
so-
I don't do it, and it's nothing like I'm scared of garbage. It's pure laziness. But like,
Yeah.
Oh, I love
I'll
it.
drive like I can't see, and I'm fine. I'll still.
I'll have a perfect. I'll come from the car wash. I'm squeegeeing.
Yeah.
Even through COVID, I was like, I probably shouldn't touch this stick
Oh,
at the
yeah.
gas
That
station.
water sitting
And
there and shit. Oh.
But dude, that is like I think it's like an OCD thing of mine. I love to like squeegee it up.
Yeah.
I love
But
that.
did you see
so that's
that-
garbage? Fuck.
Well, if you start like doing the wheel wells and shit, yeah, it's a little fucking
Doing the
trashy.
interior.
All right. Well, the other day I just was I
You
is probably
always
pretty
go
garbage.
a little extra. You're like, let me get the side real quick.
I hit the hood the other day. I didn't do the whole hood. I didn't do the whole hood. But I was doing, and I squeegeed it, and then like the hood near me was like real fucking dustied up, and I just.
There's only one acceptable location to use it other than the windshield. That's after you pump the gas. If you get a little dribble right next to where the gas goes in. If you just give it a little...
I purposely do a dribble.
Yeah.
I purposely do a little
his
dribble to
pants.
get the smell going.
The what?
I'll almost purposely dribble a little bit just
Just
to
the smell nice.
waft it up. Like, yeah. I'm like Zoolander.
Doesn't matter how much money you got. If you like the smell of gas, you're fucking
Absolutely. See,
trash.
that's what I mean.
I don't care how many golf coaches
so you
got.
walked in
Kennedys
there.
aren't sitting around huffing a fucking red
I walk in like Charlie Kelly. I got the paint around my fucking mouth. What's up, guys? So you went in there. I went in there kind of wanting to be a little bit of garbage, to be honest.
I wanted to.
I thought it was
I
going to be
didn't know you'd
disappointing
never-
if you guys were like, no, all right, you're a classy guy.
I don't want to be garbage. I didn't know you'd had non-garbage. I was hoping to maybe be like the first non-garbage. But no, I don't want to be garbage.
No, see, I kind of wanted to be garbage, which I guess is
Well, like
extra
a lot of
garbage.
people want to be, like, right? Like a lot of
Yeah.
people come in like, oh, before you even start,
Let me tell you.
trash.
Well, yeah, it's almost one of those things you want to cop to at first, so you don't look like the asshole who thought you were classy, and then you get
Yeah,
all you guys
right,
get like,
right,
no, you're a
right,
piece of
right.
shit.
I share a bed with like my clothes. They're
That's a tough look.
my bed is mostly clothes,
Yeah,
or not anymore. But
Your
it was.
pillows
It
are
was like.
fucking disgusting.
I
I got new
fucking love
pillows too.
Heidelberg.
yeah,
he's the
he's an
best.
open
He's the
book.
fucking
You are an
best.
open. You're always in therapy. Just
Well, you know what it
confessing.
was? You start. I mean, this has been your whole life.
Yeah.
You know, so you never had a shot at being normal. He
Yeah,
started
this
up
is
with
it.
me
I don't
at
think
like
like you
22
turn
or
this
whatever.
on in your 20s.
No.
This is like,
Kid never had a chance.
No, he really didn't. It was just like from Jump Street. I remember saying like, so at the time when I started Barstool, I was the only non-Jewish guy, and
Okay.
it was like a war. It was like the Gentile, and I was like fighting the Chosens.
yes.
And then
throwing holy water at
Feidelberg.
him and shit.
So then I get Feidelberg emailing me, and I was like, "This will be great for like this rivalry." And I told him, "You can have the job as an intern, but you have to use your real name." And he was like, "Okay." And then I find out that he's not Jewish; it's a German thing, which was then I just started calling him the fake Jew, which in 2020 I'd be fucking cooked.
yeah.
But the point being though
Don't
that
say
he, like
cooked.
when you
I'm fucked. My wife's
Cut the
Jewish.
tape.
My
Cut
wife's
the
Jewish.
tape.
But now you Google his poor name and he's fucking done. So like you never had a shot at being normal.
Yeah, no.
Thank
it's
God
just
this worked out
until I
because
finally commit suicide. There's never gonna be another.
There's also like there's unsuccessful Feidelbergs that are just out there like playing. Like
What
I
the
have friends
fuck?
that are like just still playing it super fast and loose, and I'm like, all right, buddy, you're still like parking cars at a fucking at like a dealership or something.
Yeah, to me, the desire to be a little bit of garbage, I think, is a commendable thing. It's like there's who are those guys' names? There's a couple DC or like Baltimore radio hosts, and they played a game called Horror or Bore, where girls would call in and they would ask them similar to what you guys do, like, and it was more yes or no questions, and then at the end they would guess how many people the girl has slept with. But because it was characterized as bore, it was almost like you didn't want to be
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh, you're lame, you're the bore in bed. So these girls would be like, yes, I'm a whore.
Sounds progressive.
Yeah, again, games that just cannot be done anymore. It's I think the golden era is, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we're never gonna go back to being like the world's not gonna be a funny place anymore.
It's tough, man. It's a constant fucking, it's a constant.
I was talking to somebody today. They're like, well, once the election happens, it'll all go back to
That's what
normal.
everybody keeps saying. I'm like, wait, that's not gonna make it any
No
better.
fucking way. It's probably gonna ratchet it up. How'd you guys link up?
We were doing shows in Philly. I just like showed up to an open mic and he was there, and I had like never done it before, and he thought he was like fucking Johnny Cool Guy. You know what I mean? Dude, the confidence.
He was a young kid on the
Dude,
scene.
he just so wants to be like fucking Bruce Springsteen or whatever. Like, dude, he gets
Well,
up
let
on
me tell you,
stage.
we got a long way to go.
Dude,
Hold on, get the guitar. I'll play a couple hits.
Dude, we're on like the third floor of like a dive bar in Philadelphia doing this fucking show that he ran, and he was hosting it. And I get up there, I'm like, oh, this guy's, he seems way too confident for how he looks and everything. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
You gotta carry it, baby.
Dude,
Fake it till you make it, kids.
Amen, brother.
Fake it till you make it.
The most important lesson you can teach.
we're literally, there's like 7 people at the fucking show. Most of them in the audience are comedians, and he's up there like, how's everybody feeling tonight? Like he's at the fucking Garden.
When
Dude,
I
he's
say,
got
oh,
he's got
you
his dad's
Is anybody alive out there?
literally, Philly. Is anybody alive or are you just
blazer
dead?
on. He's got a
Oh,
blazer
wow.
on, like he's fucking, like he's doing his HBO 30-minute special. And he's
Today's man, by the way. All right.
Yeah.
At least it's not Joseph A. Banks.
Yeah.
Get buy one, get 7
was-
free, and a cell phone, and like a
what's
moped.
their
and a
manufacturing
card.
cost over there? They're like, you get free fucking iTunes for a year. Yeah.
I wore a Jose Banks suit to a wedding once that just disintegrated.
Just looked like Bernie Mac.
Like it just fell apart.
I ain't scared of you, motherfucker. You're doing the best man speech. DJ, hit it.
But he had the confidence to go, guys, how you feeling the jacket? Should I take it on? Should I leave it? I'll take it all. Like they cheered him to like. I'm like, this
All right, I'm
guy's
an
a
asshole.
fucking loser. Cut to 10 years later, he's my best friend. I'm like,
I got you in the end, huh?
I got the jacket though, so it all worked out.
I was actually wearing your clothes for a long time. He's 10 years younger than me, and he was a chunky guy in Philly, and then he lost all this weight.
Lost a bunch of weight.
So I started wearing all
What
his
an asshole!
clothes.
Isn't that like a dickhead move?
What?
Like he kind of got hot for a little bit over quarantine. He was like jacked, and I was like, we can't have this. Now I'm like, I mean, I've never been like the in shape guy, but I was like, I can't be like this strong.
He really leaned into it the other way.
The pandemic's evened it out a little bit. This kid's got a couple DiGiorno's in him.
Jesus Christ.
But no, it's funny. We will always, not to be arrogant, but we will always get you because we're such fucking trash and we know so
Takes
many
one to know
ins and
one type
outs.
shit,
We're gonna figure it out.
Right.
Like I remember, like that moment that you just had with the squeegee. You were like, oh, we usually get that.
Yeah.
You see it click on people's
Right.
eyes. When they
Like,
go, oh, fuck.
I knew the second you guys asked Fast and Furious. I was
Yeah.
It happened to Paul Verzi. Paul Verzi.
Yeah?
It happened too.
He thought he was
and like
classy.
we had him on this, and he was like, moving, and he was sticking and moving, and he was kind of getting him, and then I was asking him about his grandmother's house, and he's like, yeah. So I'm like, did your grandmother have like a back patio or something like that? He's like, yeah, she had a back patio, and I'm like, Paul, let me ask you a question. On that back patio, was there fake grass like AstroTurf?
Mm-hmm.
And he literally just went like this.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking busted cold.
Yeah,
He's like, how the fuck did you know that? I was like, because it's in my fucking living room. That's why.
Well, especially that generation too, though, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, they went through it all. My grandma's house had cases of cartons of Kent cigarettes that she
man.
bootlegged from the Indian reservation. She had a connect
Dude,
that would
that's
get him
fucking-
tax
that's
free
moving
from
and
the
shaking
Indians.
right there. I like it.
She had the jug of Carlo Rossi wine, with the
Oh,
little
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
handle that she used to drink. She had huge ice cubes. She'd put that in there.
Ice and
and
wine,
she had
yeah.
the black box, like the illegal cable box. So I was watching porn at my grandma's house. She used to
Joe
yell up the
Pesci?
stairs.
Your grandmother was Jimmy Conway?
She would yell up the stairs. You're
Hey,
not
you popped
watching
your cherry, Grandma.
You're not watching the dirty channels, are you? And I was like, no.
Oh, man.
It was great.
Oh,
I
dude,
love
if you had-
grandma's
if you had a
house.
connect, yeah, dude. If you had a fucking like a porn channel connect in someone's house, dude. If somebody
that
had
point,
one
it
in a
was
10-mile
gold.
radius of me,
Yeah.
we were all like, all the kids were just like in the basement.
Did you guys do a box of porn in the woods?
Oh, yeah. Magazines.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I would
old
find
school.
them. I was like, at that point, VHS and DVDs were already kind of coming out. So like,
Yeah, to me, I feel like you either really know the box of porn in the woods or it's totally foreign to you. But the people who know it, it's like,
really?
yeah, we were like,
I think-
we had a
I
huge
think
box
now-
of it, ride our bikes out there. And
Yeah.
Would you like add to it? And like, it was like a
I mean, I
communal
personally
chest?
didn't because I didn't.
You just
That's
knew
where I
where
got my
porn
porn.
was.
Yeah. Well, it was always like, I don't know who the first guy was, but it was
That's
always,
the thing.
an eighth grader when you're in like sixth grade tells you about it, and then you know the location and
Yeah.
it's kind of passed on. And you hope it doesn't rain.
And
I found like soggy ones before. for sure.
Yeah. I hope it was rain.
Still made it work.
Yeah.
But I think like you'll never be that aroused again. You
Yeah.
know that, right?
Where
Like
it's like,
you
I'll
can
go to the
never
woods for this. Yeah.
you can never compete with that fucking throbbing. And like kids today, it's too
throbbing.
easy.
That was too good of a word choice.
With a
Got
big
me
hearty
throbbing
meat
over
stick,
here
you know what I
right
mean?
now.
What the
You don't remember when you were a kid,
It's a
you got a
PG
hard on, you felt like it
show.
was
What are you
going through
doing?
your entire body? You'll never have that again. And
When
the
you're
reason
so
it was-
horny, you feel it in your face.
so horny your mom's turned on. No, but like now it's too accessible. It's too out there.
is,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well, that's
Kevin always says
this
this.
is my like claim. I want to like the only thing I think I could ever do like on stage, really like as a scripted material is this. I think that my age, I guess all of us kind of are the greatest generation.
Okay.
And it's not because of World War II or anything like that.
Sure.
We are young enough that we are computer and internet and technology savvy. We're not like, how do you turn on the fucking... And we are old enough to have gone through the struggle of
analog
trying to find porn, trying to find music, trying to find everything is so accessible now. So you're either too old and you're like, I don't want to use this internet thing, or you're so young that you're just like you've had HD porn and
Yeah.
everything you want at your fingertips forever, so you're a spoiled asshole.
Makes sense.
We are
Watching
right in
Anal
the
in
middle.
kindergarten.
And you gotta earn it if you haven't watched like scrambled porn where
See?
you're trying to
That's
catch
what
a
I'm
tit,
saying.
Dude,
You're not- you
hoping
don't
that
know.
boob, like slows up.
Yes.
More. You're like,
And it
goes to the
would
top
every
corner.
once in a while and just be
Yes.
like,
Yes, I mean that to
I
me
used
is
to set
what you
alarms.
earn.
I would set alarms to get up at like 6 in the morning to start downloading stuff on Kazaa.
Oh yeah, you had to.
Quee it up because I thought that's how you pronounce
Quee it up.
Feidelberg's got to stop talking, man. Dude, remind me to never fucking pull a bank job with you.
You're like, yeah, I watch porn. He's like, yeah, me too.
I used to set a tripwire for my parents.
You had to get crafty back then, though, because it would take hours, man.
Right. Yeah, when I get home from school, this will be downloaded. And that was.
And you hope it was real. It wasn't fake.
Yeah,
that's
it
the
wasn't
worst.
a fucking Metallica
Spent
song.
36
Did you ever print
hours.
out pictures? I did that
No, I
for
don't
sure.
think
That's some horny shit right there, huh?
Well, it's like,
I had that
where
printer
the
with
fuck did all the ink go? You're like, I don't know.
I had that printer
Jenna
with the.
Jameson's
I
upstairs.
I had to print out the whole fucking every screenshot of Jenna Loves Brianna.
Got a flip book. Man, that's pretty low, man.
Definitely
Printing
printed out
your porn.
pictures. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It was like.
So
was
what?
like-
Just like bring them with you? Like,
No, I would just keep them in my room like a porn. You know what I mean? Well, like at that point, video. There was a time where video wasn't that accessible. Like
Right.
Napster. It was when Napster was out. Napster was just audio, really.
Right,
Like,
and
and nobody
LimeWire
had
goes out.
nobody had the capabilities to download a fucking video at home.
Right.
And streaming wasn't really a thing. So it was
couldn't
like,
go buy it or anything.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it was like, I'm not gonna sit in my living room and fucking jerk off. You know?
Yeah.
Like someone could walk in, like you're way too exposed.
the communal computer.
Yeah,
you know?
so you print it out.
computer.
That
you know,
that
save
thing
it for
that's
later.
a thing of the past too. You don't know the struggle of when someone
The
calls
one
and
tape.
kicks you off.
Remember
Here in the
the
garage
one-
open or
The
something.
one
like,
tape.
Oh fuck!
There was the one tape. It had one lesbian scene at the end. All your friends fuck. You knew the script backwards and forwards.
Yep.
You knew the
Yep.
name of the key grip on the fucking thing. The guy who lit the shoot. You know what I mean? You knew everything about it.
Oh, dude, my buddy. So a kid growing up, his dad owned a bunch of
Oh, this is trashy.
fucking
You know it's
video
trash, and he's
rental
like, oh,
stores.
buckle
To
up.
be associated
Oh, wow.
with somebody like this.
A bunch of video rental stores, like independents. You know what I mean? Like Steve's, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Steve's Rental. So when they went out of business, like when Blockbuster came in and whatever, he sold all the movies from like the 5 locations, but kept all of the porn. So dude, we're down in this kid's basement, and it's just like it's like a fucking unfinished basement, and there's just boxes. I'm talking like big U-Haul moving boxes to the walls, and we're not even thinking what's in them. And then like we're like wrestling. It was like out of a movie. It was like out of a movie. We're like wrestling. And like my buddy gets dumped into one, and like they all just open up, and we're like, dude, this whole box is full of porn. He's like, yeah, these are all full of porn. We're like, you're just telling us this now? What the fuck, dude?
That's like Goonies knocking over the treasure chest or something like that.
So then we would just like, he was like, dude, you can't take them. Like my dad counts it. I'm like, that's weirder than even having it. Yeah, the fact that he fucking
That,
counts
like
them.
when your parents just you draw the line on
The
the liquor
line,
bottle.
yeah.
You're doing that with the porn.
Counting the porn. What
So
the
I'm like, all right. So we would always make excuses to go downstairs and steal one. You know what I mean? Like, I think I left my sweatshirt in the basement. He's like, you haven't been in the basement in 6 weeks. I'm like, yeah, let me just double check. You know,
I'm gonna run down and change the dehumidifier real quick. Do you a
some
favor.
pump working. Let me go check the sump pump.
Dehumidifier.
Catching parents with the porn. That was always that changed
Did
your
you?
perception of people's
I don't.
parents.
I have not experienced that.
I've never caught my
No, not
parents
my
with porn.
parents.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I've caught my parents with like sex games.
Ooh, I'm listening.
It was it was like one of those like I was looking through like my dad's closet for like his car keys or something
Yeah.
like that. I was old enough to know what it was. I
Yeah.
wasn't like a child, and it was like moving like a sweater or whatever, and it was like one of those like roll the dice.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Suck, put
Kiss
your
that-
hand here.
That's
whatever,
not
yeah.
so bad. That's
Yeah,
man.
that's
Hang on a
you
second.
find some
Hang on a
fucking.
Car keys in the closet.
Yeah.
So it's in
Come
the
on.
attic, you know?
You know what you were doing.
Yeah. Maybe I was looking for Christmas. He does keep.
stumbled upon
I said
this.
car keys because he does keep his car keys in his closet. But I might have been looking for Christmas presents. I forget exactly what I was looking for, but I was not looking for what I found.
It wasn't Lunchables, I'll tell you that.
My buddies,
The Capri Sun's in here, Pop. What's that? Oh, fair enough.
my buddy's parents, we suspected of smoking weed when we were teenagers. So we were like, yo, let's go see if we can find some fucking weed. Like before you could like really buy it or whatever, like 14 or something. We're like, let's see if we can get weed. And we started looking around, and like this kid's nuts that he was just letting like 4 fucking teenagers root through his parents' shit. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm going through sweaters up like in the closet and shit. And dude, we found them. First of all, like my buddy goes under his bed and pulls out like a fucking bag of like whips and chains.
Yeah,
and shit.
that's what I was gonna say. You
And
find
dude,
that
so
stuff, and it's
he's
like, oh.
dying. And like my one buddy, it's not his parents. It's like just this other kid. And he's like, yo,
He's having
look
a
at this. And my
blast.
buddy's like, put that away, put that away.
It's a belt. It's a belt.
Then we found pictures of like Polaroids of his
Them?
mom, and we were like,
Holy
alrighty
shit.
then, let's
Time to
fucking-
go, but
yeah.
let me just take one
Yeah.
for the road.
Wow.
I want to take one for the
No,
road.
no,
It was a
not.
bad scene.
Really?
No road.
I'd rather see you naked, dude.
That could be arranged, huh? And you don't need a Polaroid, I'll tell you that.
That the lengths that people will go to for their porn, though. I had a guy who he was like a He's a fan of ours. He runs his own Twitter account. Certainly will not say his name because it will ruin his life. He emailed me at one point. Asa Akira was our co-host, so probably pretty garbagey, right? To have a porn podcast.
I don't think so. She's
She is as far as porn goes. She's as classy as they come. But he emailed me and he's like, so like now that you have like a connection to the porn world, I need a favor. And he's like, I had a favorite porn star. I can't remember who it was. I wish I could. Who just like quit at one point. And so he has all of her existing porn and he's on like this crusade to find more if he possibly can. So what he tries to do is track down like the cameramen and the guys filming it to find like shit that didn't make the cut.
Like B-roll,
Like B-roll,
shit
like-
that ended up on the editing room floor.
Yes, cutting room
Holy
floor
shit.
porn.
Who wants the outtakes?
And I would, well, me.
I'm not
Don't get
going
me
for
wrong,
the
I'm with him. I just wouldn't email someone asking for it.
I'll click a BTS. No problem.
going for the blooper reel.
I frequent those as well. But yeah, that was like,
shit.
listen, I am a piece of garbage, especially when it comes to porn. I don't hide any of it, but boy, if you're emailing me to talk to her, to email him, to find cutting room floor porn, and the way he's writing it too, he was like, it's almost like you found a new video. It's like, I've seen it before, but you get to see the behind the scenes. I was like, please lose my email. I don't want to have any sort of association.
There's
with
no
you
way
at
if
all.
you asked her, she was going to think that there was this imaginary guy.
Oh, right.
Listen, it's not from me, I swear. Can you make that out to Kevin? Is that possible? No, his name's Kevin too. I swear to God.
I mean, we've gotten more and more into the porn game, just interviewing people. And I gotta be honest, the more people that we meet, I think the porn stars are the most normal people we know.
Yeah.
They're just
agree.
like,
Well,
like,
not all of them.
no, some of them are like your typical, like,
Yeah.
something horrible happened and you're like doing it out of desperation.
Oh, I wouldn't say normal, but I think they're the most interesting people we interview.
I think, yeah, that too. But I also just think a lot of them sometimes are like, I don't know, like I like it, it works, I make a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
Man,
and
I can't hate, like, you try to hate on, especially now with like OnlyFans, like girls are making like 20, 30 grand a month, and I'm like,
Lana Rose.
and they're just like
listen to this.
accountants or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, fucking go for it.
well, that's what, yeah, the fact that you can make
That's really going to normalize it. Like,
right.
that's
Well,
normalizing.
I've been
porn.
telling people, get on it now, because in 5 years, when everyone has it the same way you have a Twitter account, you're
Yeah,
going to be
it's
late to the game.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm on it, and I think the porn stars are the worst follows on it. I have OnlyFans because we had like a 2-week period where all we talked about was OnlyFans.
Sure.
And we said on one of the podcasts at one point, we were like, any like listeners who like reply to the tweet and we'll follow you. And so like, I don't know, like 3 to 5 girls, whatever it is,
11,
not
12,
a ton.
it's like a couple dozen.
And like we followed them, and then since I was already on it,
Yeah,
I was like, well,
might as well
start
dabble,
following
you know what I
some
mean?
porn
That
stars.
really is the hurdle with OnlyFans. Once you like sign up and do all that, then it's like subscribe.
But all the porn stars, all the hardcore porn stars, it's just like a picture of them smiling, and it's like, check your DMs. I got a new video. It's like, look, I already pay $8 a month. I got to pay $40 for this video. Like, I'm just gonna go to Pornhub.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but and the
I'm
normal
trying to
girls,
support you here.
Yeah.
Doing this on a budget here, lady.
the normal ones are hustling. You know, they're out there like
Sure.
because those girls are like, I don't need to do this. I get a
Yeah,
check
that's
from
like
whoever.
that's disposable income for them.
Right.
They're like, it's just another revenue stream.
We had Lana Rhodes and I don't know if you're familiar with her work, but she's like the #1 porn star on Pornhub she doesn't even do it anymore. She's just living
Really?
off like, well, she does OnlyFans and that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
But she said that she knows like regular girls who make like $150K a week.
A week?
And that she. So we did answer the internet. We'll do it with you guys in a little bit. And a lot of them are like, would you do this or would you rather have $1 million or whatever? So one of the questions was $1 million was the option, and she
It was,
just like
it was. Would you count to $1 million?
right
For
$4
$1 million.
You have to
And-
lock in a room. Can't do anything till you count to $1 million. If you mess up, you have to start over. It's for reference, it's like 11 days and like 13 hours to do it. And so
I'll do it for $2,000.
You got it on you? You got cash? What are we
I'll do it for one of them sweatshirts back there. What are you talking about?
but she looks me like dead in the eyes and she's like, oh well, I mean, like I can get that with like a couple pictures. Yeah. And I was like,
Damn.
She said
And
3 OnlyFans pictures.
I thought she was
$1 million.
hamming it up because at that point we were recording, and then afterwards I was like, "For real?" And again, she looks at me like I'm the moron. She's like, "Yeah, for like, like 3 or 4 pictures, like over the course of a month, I'll make like $1 million." I was like,
Yeah, we
I
got
gotta
the wrong fucking
I gotta hit
racket.
the gym. Get over to Planet
"So
Fitness.
what? How much money would it take for you?" Let's say there's a market for everything. There's a lid for every
This is
pot.
whatever the number is. Whatever you're gonna ask him, the number is low.
Oh, if I told you that there was,
For this thing right here, whatever this is.
you got to just jerk off on the internet, face out and everything.
Okay.
For you got to have, and people are going to subscribe. How much money you got to make like a month for you to be down with that? Seriously, for you to actually be like, all right, this is my career now, and Foley will be known as Are You Garbage, and he's also an OnlyFans boy.
Well, we'd have to talk about Are You Garbage moving forward.
Yeah, he's got to wet his beak a little bit too.
It's technically under the umbrella of Are You Garbage. So.
Like obviously,
We'll do like an 80-20 split. I don't know.
I would be giving up ever working in like mainstream acting or anything like that.
Right. Your Oscar dreams are out the window, Foley.
You're not making it in mainstream acting, all right?
What are you talking about? Check out Setup on Netflix. What do you mean? I don't know. 20 grand a month?
Yeah, but honestly,
comfortable living. I don't want to show off.
I think
you know what I mean?
I gotta keep my modesty while I jerk off on the internet.
2-car
really like
garage,
my one bedroom.
I think it could be done. To be perfectly honest,
I think you could probably.
I really think you could.
Yeah.
I just think that there's just the internet's just like you realize there's so many people for everything, everybody, everything. You can find that.
Is this a pitch? Is this what's going on right now? Is this how it starts?
I can get you $20K.
You're a good-looking kid. What do you mean? Why don't you take that top? Take that top off.
Bend over, spread your ass cheeks.
If you want to. I'm saying. If you're comfortable with it, yeah.
God damn.
All of a sudden there's a fan on me.
Some imagery.
My hair's blowing back.
I hope most people are just listening and don't know
don't
the
Google
visual
H.
behind
Foley.
this. What's up with the H?
It's Henry.
Right. You hate it? You don't like it? Or you feel like you're classy doing the one, the first initial?
Yeah, Scott
No, it's
Fitzgerald.
just, it's going to sound a little sentimental, but I'm named after my grandfather. When I was growing up, I was a little kid. He passed away when I was real young, and I had a wooden plaque over my crib that one of my cousins made for him in woodshop.
Fuck! I didn't want to cry, man. Yeah. All right.
And then he passed away, and then my dad was in Vietnam. And his buddy, he was holding his buddy in his hand, and no, I'm kidding.
Fuck! I fully regret this question.
That was only a sentence that was fake. But
No, so I had that plaque, and then
It's interesting though that it's like it's memorable. It's like it does feel like a stage name type
it's
of thing.
It's definitely a garbage thing. You know what I mean? Like because it was like if I ever do it, I'm gonna use H. Foley for my grandpa. You know what I mean? Like that trashy Bruce Springsteen shit. But yeah, that's why. Plus, I think it sounds cool.
Yeah,
does sound
I like it. I like it.
But many people, I'll be like a club and like, so what's H really stand for?
Yeah, you got to keep the mystery going. Almost, don't even tell them. Be like, oh, listen, I can't even.
Yeah, that's what
you don't want to know.
Right, right.
That's what people think of when they look at him. Mystery.
Actually, it's just Herman. So
So what's? I mean, is the plan for Are You Garbage to just? Is it? You kind of can do it forever, I guess.
To the
as long
moon,
as you keep
baby,
getting new people, right?
Yeah, well, it's also like we've had.
Who's the most garbage person you've had?
Oh man, there's a lot. There's
buddy, it's you.
That's only 68%.
Yeah, that's true. We've had a couple other comics, like lower level comics that we've had on that are just like fucking, but like.
Well, especially at that level, though, it's like the real garbage. You got to find. It's like, all right, you've made it, and are you still have it in you? Because it's almost like, well, yeah, I'm garbage because the world is making me be garbage at the moment.
I think Ari Shaffir was super fucking good. He's like, but he grew up like Orthodox, I think, like so it was like super devout religious.
Yeah.
And then once he got rid of his religion, it was like he's lawless.
He started poisoning people.
Lawless.
Lawless is a great way to put it.
Yeah, he started dosing people.
when that was
he
wild.
dosed us. He came in, gave us chocolate.
Well, but that was at least knowingly, right?
It was. I forget.
He straight up poisoned Bert with MDMA.
Right,
and
I
he had to
think
go
he
home
gave
to his
us
kids
chocolate.
fucking
And then did you see what
rolling
happened on Legion of Skanks?
No.
There was a whole nother thing on that.
No, what was that?
I mean, whatever. They tried to dose him, and he got wind of it and did the old switcheroo with Big J Okerson.
The Princess Bride.
Yeah, and then
it's inconceivable. He dosed out Okerson.
And he dosed Okerson.
Holy
really?
shit. Honestly, in that case, I kind of feel like, you come at the king, you best not miss.
Yeah,
like,
dude, those dudes play it fast.
The moment where,
loose.
God, the moment where Jay must have realized, it must have been incredible.
Well, it was kind of. You should
wait a
go
minute.
check it out because it's fucking. The half of the table's laughing because they. First of all, Ari faked it for 40 minutes. He's sitting there like staring at the lights.
He's incredible.
And you're watching, and you're like, oh man, Ari is fucked up.
That's also fucking
and
Princess
now the
Bride.
rest
I'm
of the
not
people that
left-handed.
think they dose him, they're dying. And him and Shane Gillis are laughing because Shane Gillis is laughing because he knows that the switcheroo's already happened, and Jay doesn't know what's happening. It's a wild scene.
That's Kaiser Soze shit.
Yeah,
Those guys really are. There's another podcast that we talked to recently, No Jumper. I don't know if you're familiar with that guy. He made waves recently because he had these like Insta thoughts on who were just airing out everybody. Point is, they let it fly. But other than like Legion of Skanks is one of the last true lawless Wild West. We don't conform. We don't care about sponsors. We don't care about canceling.
Yeah.
Like those guys are fucking nuts.
Which you need that there.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
You really,
I mean, I'm jealous of it in a way.
Yeah.
That I'm like, we still cut it loose too, but there's there's a lot on the line now and families and shit like that. So we got to clean it up a little bit. I mean, those guys don't give a fuck.
And like we're on the same network. Like we're under like kind of we're like fucking babies compared to them.
right.
I'm like, you guys just
Those
keep making noise over here.
In a way, it is kind of nice to be like,
we can fly under the radar.
Yeah, we look like the good guys.
Fucking
the
student of the
heroes.
month every month,
Yeah. Who ended up? Did Shafir win president?
Yeah.
He won their big
He's
thing.
the president
you
of
did
Skankonia.
1 minute, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's an awesome idea by them, by the way. I was captivated by
It was
that.
great.
But yeah, that's a good crew to roll with, man. You guys can say whatever the fuck you want, and you'll never make waves.
We won't even come up in like the fucking meeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, Are You Garbage is still alive. Okay,
You guys
that's all
didn't
that
say
matters.
the N-word today?
All right, moving on.
But yeah, the idea is just, to keep redefining it and stuff like that. And we've started to, like once a month we'll do an episode where it's just me and Kevin.
Yeah.
And like we just finished doing an Are You Garbage garage fridge contest.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
So we had, the listeners all sent in videos of their garage
fridge
fridges,
is a good symbol, yeah.
which was the trashiest, which was the best. So one guy, fucking the winner, sent in, he bought an industrial, like a restaurant fridge and put it in his fucking garage, put a keg on the
kegs.
bottom, lined it up with the hoses, and then just fucking stacked it with everything.
Like all like craft beer and shit.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's so
And then other
garbage it
people,
becomes
like,
classy.
And then other people like submitted their actual like fridge in their kitchen where they opened it up and there was like bugs. I'm like, all right, dude, you're missing the
Like
whole
just a
point. of
fucking,
fucking
just a squirrel, just in the freezer.
Well, I mean, it's an awesome premise. It's
Thank you,
phenomenal.
buddy. Thanks,
and I mean, I don't think I've seen a podcast really pick up that quickly, maybe ever, to be honest.
Yeah, we
Thank
got
you.
lucky.
But-
Over the pandemic, we were able to lean on our fucking bigger comic friends. You know what I mean? So it was like we had like Schultz and fucking Gillett. Because everybody was like, yeah, like, I'll
Meet the
do whatever.
connections,
So it was easy. Yeah, we
Awesome
kinda-
stuff, man.
yeah,
So
appreciate
everybody
it.
go check it out. Are You Garbage? We're going to go across and put you to the test on Answer the Internet.
Let's do
Awesome.
it.
Thank you for having us,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Thank you, boys.